Hello everyone, Chris here with a new video idea that I recently got. Actually, I just got it like 5 minutes ago and I'm inspired to do my own IVL commentary. And I already don't know what I'm gonna say, so we're just gonna get right into it. This time we have Wolves versus DOU5. This is a little bit older game, but I like this matchup, so I'm gonna put my commentary over it. We have a Seer and an Acrobat ban coming from DOU5. Wolves immediately picking up the forward and the Psychologist. DOU5 is a Dream Witch main that makes this Psychologist pick very valuable for them, so it's no wonder they picked that first. We also have a Mechanic ban from DOU5, which is a little interesting since there is Postman. As we already see, Wolves picked up the Postman. Mechanic is not that meta anymore, so banning her is a little strange to me. Postman has kind of taken up the mechanic spot in the current meta of the decoder since he can give the other teammates, especially rescuers who decode slowly, he can give them a decoding ladder and basically boost both his own decoding and the rescuer's decoding, making him a very nice support. He also has better kiting than Mechanic because he vaults faster, and he has his dog, which is extremely effective, especially against a hunter like Dream Witch. So that Postman pick is very good on Wolf's side. We also have the Psychologist, which takes 3 hits and basically 3 patrollers. Very good against Dream Witch, very nice pick from Wolves. Then we have the forward, of course, which can... You might say that forward is countered by Dream Witch since she can block a survivor with 2 followers and pick up without him harassing. But forward counters Dream Witch camp-wise because the Dream Witch cannot pressure ciphers if she has to put 2 leeches on the chair to camp the survivor. Because if you send 1 leech out and only have 1 leech camping the cipher, the forward's just gonna stun and get a free rescue. That is how forward can counter Dream Witch, and that is why people pick forward against Dream Witch still. And of course, lastly, we have the Merc pick. Very general pick, very good pick. Stable rescuer, stable against any hunter. Also a good ban. I'm surprised DOU5 didn't opt to ban the Merc as his second option or his third option after the survivors picked up the Psychologist and the forward. We have 2 tide turners, of course, as in the Mercenary and the forward, which are the 2 rescue characters, and 2 broken windows from the Psychologist and the Postman. We are loading into the game now. Arms Factory, which was probably picked by Wolves. You might ask why. Dream Witch is good on this map. Why wouldn't DOU5 pick that? That is because DOU5 has a preference for bigger maps on Dream Witch. He does not like her that much on small maps, especially Arms Factory. That is probably the reason that is the reason Wolves picked this map. Immediately spotting out the Psychologist at the factory and the forward and middle, both not really targets he wants to chase. What DOU5 really wants here is to find the Postman, but the Postman is rotating, the team doing a very good communication. You can already see a decoding letter being distributed earlier among the survivors. DOU5 opting to leech the Merc here, actually, which is very strange. You usually do not want to leech the rescuer here since it's very hard to get a hit on him, and now you have to wait 60 seconds for your leech to come up. Though he does spot out 487 here. Probably leech the Merc to get the Postman into a false sense of security and get him to reveal himself, but it's still not worth it in my opinion. Pulling out a patroller here, will be followed up by a main body patroller, of course, so the chase doesn't completely go to waste here. 487 though, taking a very good route here, dying away from the ciphers, dying away from main body, knowing that the main body wanted to, of course, get his route. And 487 actually kiting out the patroller here. Very nice kiting from 487. Also missing the charge attack here, which allows 487 to get into this area. And now we see the psychologist whistle coming in, which is why Psychologist is so dangerous against Dream Witch. The team communicated that the Mercenary's Leech was active, so the whistling was very easy to pull off here. Yet again, the team communicates, giving the Mercenary a speed boost letter, now that he's the one being chased. Mercenary is very hard to chase, especially for a Dream Witch. But DOU5 gets the hit with his spawn, which is not optimal on the survivors. If you go against the Dream Witch, you usually want to take a hit from your leech, so it disappears. If you take a leech from the spawn follower, you will basically give this Dream Witch more map pressure, because now what DOU5 can do here, he sent his spawn away to pressure the forward cipher, and now he can basically chair the Mercenary with his own leech, staying in middle to apply map pressure, of course, chairing the Mercenary at middle as well. Forward goes in for an immediate stun, since there's only one leech at the cipher. Here, what we talked about earlier, the forward can, of course, counter the Dream Witch because there's only one leech camping the chair. That is what we talked about. That is why the top survivors still pick forward, even though they know it's a Dream Witch. Now we have the survivors removing leeches here. Very nice work from this forward. Good team communication from Wolves here, of course. One of the best survivor teams in the world. Now we will see. Will Lion be able to kite out this patroller? A patroller bites every 5 seconds. A patroller bites every 5 seconds. And if you throw a pellet or vault a pellet or interact with something, if you interact with something while the patroller is biting, it won't bite you. It basically cancels the animation. That is what these players are doing. Effectively allowing Lion to kite out the patroller here. What DX was doing here, why he was not hitting the Merc, was because he did not want to extend the Mercenary's leech here. Expand the Mercenary's leech. He wanted to hit with the spawn because he wanted to keep the Mercenary's leech. Now, the last cipher is basically primed, but the survivors, they want the Mercenary to be full health for the end game. Now here is the forward harassing, forcing DOU5 to yet again put 2 leeches onto the Mercenary. Another stun yet again. Probably going to force Jelly to take the hit. But not being able to do so, So sadly, they need to pop the Cypher here. There goes the Cypher pop. 487 removing his leech immediately, but knowing the Hunter is around here, not going to decode the gate. Dong X putting another patroller. Immediately switching to teleport to at least get a little pressure onto the survivors here, but not being able to do so as there is a decoding ladder for the gate intact, and every one of these survivors is making it out here. That is a very nice 3 escape from the Wolf survivors. Congratulations to them. Alright, we have the DOU5 survivors on the left and Alex, as already said, on the right. Alex immediately banning the mechanic. Why is he banning the mechanic? Because mechanic, even though she is not that hard in the meta anymore, she still gives the team a lot of decoding. And Alex does not want them to Cypher rush him. Banning the Explorer as well, very interesting strategy. Allowing the survivors to build a solid team comp with Mercenary, Acrobat, and Patient. Alex basically just banned 3 decoders. And the survivors picking up the Weeping Clown here. Very interesting. That was the first time he was picked in IVL. I've never seen that before. But we are going to see the performance here. Alex picking up the Sculptor, which is a solid pick. He needs a tie at best to win this round. A tie to win the round. And a 3-man elimination. No. A 3-man escape on DOU5 would tie the round overall between the survivors and the hunters here. All of these survivors have great survivability. They have their items that make them strong. The only weak spot that I see on this team would probably be the Weeping Clown, since the statues, especially on full presence, can intercept the rocket. But if he's played well, he can definitely also kite that Sculptor. Alright. Let us see the persona builds on these survivors and this hunter. We have confined space and detention from Alex. And we have 3 tide turners from these survivors on the Weeping Clown, the Acrobat, and the Mercenary. It is very clear that these survivors are definitely opting to go for at least a 3-person escape. Why? Because they want to tie the round, of course, or even win it with a 4-person escape, which is unlikely, but it can happen, definitely. Alex picking the tension so they won't have an easy time in the end game is also a good thing here. Confined, probably bringing Blink here. Up down Blink is a tie build, a very solid tie build, because you kill the first survivor with that Blink in the early game, and then you kill someone with detention after the ciphers pop. That is a solid tie build. Here we have Alex finding the worst target probably, since it's that patient. The only survivor here who does not carry Tide. Somehow that statue does not hit. ZYJ immediately pulling a hook to go towards middle, faking that entrance. Very nice footwork he did there. Pulling another hook. But Alex is opting to leave him actually. No, he doesn't. Does spot out the Merc, but Merc is not a good chase. So he's not opting to do that. Instead, going back to the patient, ZYJ rotating towards the front gate ruins. Will probably fake another exit here. Fakes another exit. Gets the pallets done, but also gets hit. Not very good, since the survivors must know that Alex has blink here. ZYJ will most likely die to a blink here. Not getting hit by this statue here. Very nice footwork from ZYJ we have. Alex putting out some nice statues, but not really hitting them. Nice blink from Alex. The patient dying on the mercenary cipher, but it's almost done, so it will be fine probably. The survivors will definitely go for a rescue here, as this was basically a 3 cipher kite. The last 2 ciphers, minus the one that the Merc hasn't popped yet, are at 30 and 20%. As long as he rescues here, as long as his rescue doesn't get intercepted, this game will be fine. Some decent statues from Alex here. Unfortunately, missing the last one, getting a bit impatient. That could have been a double down. But we will see ZYJ kiting off the cipher. Unfortunately, missing his hook here. Alex going for a charge attack, but walking through the pallet here and eats another pallet, sadly. Now ZYJ is able to get off the mercenary cipher, and the mercenary is able to finish it. Gets hit through the pallet here. ZYJ has nice footwork, evading the statues from Alex, but his pallet work is not that polished, sadly. But it's alright. The last cipher is primed, and we are seeing the acrobat go in for a rescue. Getting a very nice firebomb on Alex, so he won't eat the full presence. The only thing that's dangerous here is that he might eat a terror shock. Does not eat a terror shock. What Alex is doing here is just he's trying to hit his statues so he won't have to hit the patient on last effort. Now hitting. Why aren't they popping, you ask? Because the patient had chip damage, basically. If he has chip damage and is on last effort and the cipher gets popped, he will be on 3/4 of health. And that is very bad against a sculptor. Very bad, because it's a full presence sculptor and they have a chip. Now, ZYJ picked up an elbow pad from Yehua here. Yehua not really having anything to kite with here. Probably going to die in this area. Alex still has his blink and will probably use it here. Or does not. He's probably... There it is. There is the blink. We have the DOU5 survivors opening the front gate and healing up the patient here. What DOU5 is going for here is very clear to me. They will try to open this gate, the shack gate, and try to go for a 4-person escape. Why? They still have Tide Turner. And this is a mercenary. A mercenary has extended chair time. And the tension is gonna run out before this mercenary expires. That is why they can go for this. And they will definitely get it because... First of all, they can get the gate open. And the dungeon is at the middle area. ZYJ actually found a bot here. And is using it to open the gate. Though Alex spots out the gate. Alex knows what these survivors are trying to do. He knows. But he can't do anything against it. He can't really do anything. Now, Bobo cannot get stuffed here. If Bobo eats another... Bobo getting the rescue last second. Very nice rescue from Bobo. Immediately equipping his rocket to get to the gate. The DOU5 survivors are speeding out of here. And Yihua is making a beeline directly towards the dungeon. This is a 4-person escape from DOU5. Congratulations on winning this round. Very nicely executed. Very nice rescue. Very good teamwork. DOU5 immediately banning the seer and the forward. Since his Dream Witch is banned now, it's hard to deal with a forward if you're not a Dream Witch. You're mostly forced to go for excitement, which is not helping you with chase. That is why forward is a very, very important and prominent ban in tournaments and in IVL. The survivor is picking up Mercenary and Priestess for the supporting. DOU5 banning the Acrobat, which is very good. Oh, my stream's lagging a little. Oh, never mind. Acrobat is very good against any hunter, basically. He's very versatile and can kite basically everything. That is why Acrobat is a very nice ban. The survivor is actually opting to pick the Psychologist, which I don't certainly agree with, since Psychologist is really only good against Dream Witch. And there is really nothing else a Psychologist can do, unless there is a batter, of course. If there is a batter, and if there is a Priestess for the supporting, even a Psychologist can kite for a while. Why is Psychologist bad, you might ask? Why wouldn't you pick her? Because she might take 3 hits, but she has nothing else to go for herself. She cannot kite long because she has no kiting items. That is why Psychologist is commonly used against Dream Witch and not a lot of other hunters. That is why this pick, Psychologist pick, is a bit silly. Now, we see Dong Xuan actually picked up the Bloody Queen here, which is... It's a decent pick. I don't think it's the best pick in this scenario, but it's a decent pick. Since the map is Red Church, Wheel is really not a good option here. So I think this Blood Queen pick is decent. It's not the best. This team comp does not encourage a Bloody Queen play, but it also isn't certainly, but the Blood Queen isn't bad against that team comp either. The only problem here is probably that batter, that harassment. Bloody Queen is very weak against harassers. We actually have Tide Turner from the Psychologist here. Very interesting. Tide from the Psychologist and the Mercenary, leaving the batter and the Priestess with kiting potential here. Very strange. If I was in this situation, I certainly would have brought Tide on this batter instead. But I guess you can do it, since maybe Dong Xuan will not chase the Psychologist. Some hunters don't chase Psychologists because of the 3-hit capability. And since it's a Blood Queen, that is 2 mirrors and a blink, or 3 mirrors and maybe he has excitement. So that is not the best for him probably. But he brought Blink here. I can see from the cooldown it's 60 seconds. That is a Blink Bloody Queen. Running towards the top broken spawn. 487 is in the area, but he did a very nice rotation on mid broken. Rotating onto the mercenary as well, which is not bad in this situation, because if this Blood Queen goes and sees that mercenary, she might leave and not see the priestess that is currently rotating. Dong Xuan taking his route through the church, running towards graveyard, sniffing out that psychologist. Will he be able to find her? That is some very nice hunter game sense from Dong Xuan here. Finding psychologist hiding. A nice mirror swap we see. Getting that first hit. The psychologist rotating towards church since there's a priestess. If you have a priestess on your team, you always want to run towards the church. You always want to run towards the church since the priestess mostly sets up her support portals there. It is very easy to set up support portals in the church, and that is why most survivors run there. Now, DX losing sight of the psychologist here, sadly, and getting a surprise hit on the mercenary. Is this gonna be another game where he chases the mercenary? Very interesting. Gets the blink on the mercenary, but the most Dong X can get here is a tie, since this mercenary has long chair time and he still has 2 elbow pads. He might have gotten that surprise mirror on him, but it's gonna be incredibly hard to kill this mercenary later on, especially since there are 4 worked on ciphers, all over 50%. Jelly leaving his cipher beforehand, going in for a rescue, but he gets spotted out pretty early, sadly. Since the Blood Queen used her mirror though, it is okay to get spotted out earlier, since there is no way you're gonna get stuffed in this scenario. Dong Xuan putting out one of the batter's balls here. Mirroring onto the mercenary, but as I already said, this is not good for Dong Xuan. Not good, because now this mercenary still has an elbow pad, and if he mirrors again on this mercenary, he's just going to elbow pad again. Mercenary, not a good chase, though. The problem here is the mercenary took a very bad route and threw the worst pallet of this map on himself. This pallet should never be used for kiting. It's very bad. Very bad. The only use this pallet has is if you throw it, and at the end game, if you're decoding the cipher and the hunter teleports onto you, you vault it for a speed boost to get towards top broken. That is really the only use this pallet has. No self-respecting hunter, no good hunter is going to get hit by this pallet. It's a really bad one. Dong Xuan here mirroring onto the priestess, but the priestess does priestess things and gets away from that mirror. Now we have the last cipher at 12%, it seems. So this mercenary might actually expire before anything can happen. Dong Xuan blocking the survivor blocking the priestess with. Oh my god. He blocked the priestess, but the batter was too late to get to that chair and the mercenary expired. A really bad miscommunication from the wolf survivors here. Because now Dong Xuan can immediately just teleport onto the psychologist, and since she has a tie turner, this psychologist cannot kite out the Blood Queen. There's no way. She's just going to get immediately mirrored on again. And now she's dead. There is nothing she can do. She also expired, her stress already expired in the early game already. That is not good for the survivors here. Dongxuan opting to chair near the last cipher, but Wolf survivors very smart, starting another cipher. 487 on that wedding cipher, it's at 50%. And now the other problem here is, if he tries to mirror on 487, the batter can cancel out the mirror. Cancels out the mirror here. Very nice work from this batter. Drops the pallet so that the psychologist can vault it for a speed boost probably. But Dongxuan wants to farm her. Or go for a terror shock potentially. Does not get the terror shock. Only hits the batter. The batter, very interesting kiting here. But they pop the cipher. And now... Sorry, my Discord notifications. The batter goes down, but since they popped the cipher, they can go for an easy tie game here now. Dongxuan opting to chase the priestess now that has 2 portals and is in church. Not a good idea here. Instead, mirrors onto the psychologist at the gate. Will he get this mirror? Gets the mirror. Very nice work from Dongxuan. But the batter cancels the mirror switch yet again, and Dongxuan has to walk all the way over there. Does not opt to walk over to psychologist and instead mirrors onto the other gate. 487 with a very interesting portal here. Now, there is 2 survivors trapped here, so the problem here is that Dongxuan really needs to chase the survivor away from the gate, since he knows that there is one more tie turner on this team. And he thinks the tie turn is on the priestess. The survivor's opting to actually heal up the batter here, but they won't try anything since this batter does not have tide. So this is a nice tie from Wolves against DOU5's Hunter Dongxuan. We congratulate them here. Also, a little correction, I'm pretty sure Dongxuan knew that the psychologist had tied, but didn't opt to teleport onto the psychologist and chair her, since even without tide, the priestess and the batter are such good supporters, they could have probably made a 3 escape possible. That's why he went for the priestess here. That is probably the reason why. We have Alex yet again banning that mechanic to deny the survivors a cipher rush that allows them to comfortably sell someone on chair. DOU5 actually opting to ban Alex's breaking wheel here, which is very interesting. Breaking wheel is not that strong on Red Church. He does work on Red Church for sure, but this is not his strongest map. The survivors immediately picking up the seer and the postman here. Postman to counter that mechanic ban and seer, since it is very hard to play seer with all those bans, so he's a very big must pick. Alex choosing to ban the priestess instead and letting them have their rescuer, the mercenary. He does not want them to have good support here. Alex is a very good bonbon player. That is why he gave them the seer, denied them the priestess, and is now banning the coordinator, since coordinator counters bonbon pretty badly. Now we'll see. What will the survivors choose? They will choose a cowboy. Very interesting. Cowboy can work against Bonbon because Cowboy can transition kite and Bonbon is very weak against transition kiting. This is a very weak team against Bonbon though. There are two really good chase targets here, and even if the Cowboy can be good at transition kiting, he can be chased as well here. So there are 3 targets Alex can choose to chase here, and none of these targets have a lot that helps them kite. The survivors did not opt to go for a forward pick or for someone who's a stronger kiter, which will probably come back to bite them. Bonbon thrives against survivors that are weak. That is why Bonbon does not ban Seer. Because even though Seer can work against Bonbon, if you dodge all the bombs and then get a basic hit and out that one, that is good, of course. But usually Seer does not go well against Bonbon. That is why Bonbon does not want to ban Seer. He bans decoders, supports, and rescuers. Even though Seer is classified as a support, he's not an S-tier support against Bonbon, in my opinion. The S-tier support against Bonbon is Priestess and Forward. Acrobat also works against Bonbon. That is why Alex banned him. Those are some good ban choices from Alex here. He is opting to go for Detention Trump card here, which is a build that he will most likely use to try and go for a win. The survivors having 1 tie turn on the team with the mercenary, which indicates that all they want to do is go for a tie here. If the first cut, they know that those survivors they picked are not that strong, and that the first kite will most likely not be good. And since Bonbon has no map pressure, they can just sell this survivor that is on the chair and go for a tie instead. Just sell the survivor and Cypher Rush. Sorry about that again. I need to talk to Costa about that later. Silly guy. Keeps pinging me. Alright, we had a graveyard spawn from Alex here, immediately heading towards the back gate and spotting out the arguably best target on this team next to the Seer. Very unfortunate for DOU5 survivors, very nice on Alex. Alex actually opting to go for Peeper Bonbon here. The slow pallet break coming in. Peeper Bonbon is a valid strategy because it forces survivors to basically transition. No, it forces survivors to stay in certain areas since their walking speed is pretty slow on Peepers. That was a very nice ult from the survivors. Unfortunately, the Postman is not in a good area and he goes down to a bomb here and a basic hit. That is what I was talking about. Not a good kiter. Postman is a good support. His letters are good support and his dog can apply a little bit of pressure onto the hunter, of course. But he is still weak against hunters like Bonbon. That is why they will most likely sell this rescue here or go for an after half save. Problem is, Alex has good game sense and he knows where the survivors are at. He knows it and he actually snuffs out the Merc and forces him to go rescue here. Now, Upsy will probably die here in this very far corner. Why, you ask? Because there is a cowboy. There is a cowboy here, and this postman probably has struggle speed. Oh no, but the cowboy missing his lasso, eating another hit. another bomb and going down here, which is technically, this is a double down for the survivors. Not good. Now the postman will not be able to struggle free. Alex really did his work here. Putting out the cowboy and getting the postman out of the game as well, since that rescue was after half. Now Alex just has to walk over and chair this postman. No, chair this cowboy. This is what a good bonbon can do. This is why cowboy was a very risky pick here, probably. Like, the strategy here was clear. Die in the corner of the church so the cowboy can harass. But church has one big problem for harassers. There aren't any good pallets on the church. There are pallets that are good when you transition out of the church or inside the church. But if you're dead in that church and there is a pallet and the pallet was destroyed by Alex as well, if that happens, then there is nothing that you can do. And the harasser can't get away from there either. Even forward can struggle in the church. That is why dying in the church can be beneficial, but it can also be risky. The survivors have no choice but to sell this cowboy here, since the mercenary only is dead to one bomb chip, and since the bonbon is at full presence, this seer cannot rescue. Oh, but Bobo running directly into the bonbon here. Very, very, very unlucky. Very bad. Fakes the vault, but still takes the bomb hit and will die here since it's a full presence bonbon. You might call it, oh no, that is such a stupid spam, this bonbon hit here. But it's a full presence bonbon. He can afford to do that spam. The bombs recharge incredibly fast at the full presence. And it's very hard to evade those bombs. Alex checking the graveyard side for having tinnitus, but the mercenary is hiding. Not around here. Alex spotting out the mercenary here, forcing the merc to use his last elbow pad. And getting the down since the merc could not make it into the church here. And Alex had a control bomb as well. Now the seer has to get up, but since there's a peeper on him, it takes him forever. And even if he gets up here, he's just gonna be dead. He's just dead now. This is a very bad area. I'm gonna spawn bomb. You're stuck here. You cannot get out of here. There's nothing you can do. Bobo doubling back, but you can't really pellet stun the bonbon here since you're dead to one chip and the entire floor is littered in bombs next to the pallet. There's really nothing you can do here. And the merc has slow healing, so now all Alex has to do is walk over. The merc does get up, but he has no more elbow pads and he's injured. There is no way this merc kites it out. This is a 4-person elimination on Alex. A very nice bonbon play he did there. The thing with DOU5 survivors is DOU5 are not the strongest kiters. They excel in support, not kiting. In support, not in kiting. But if their support goes wrong, then they have nothing. Then they just get eaten by hunters like that. Alright. We're gonna go back to the commentary here. We have a zero forward postman ban. Very straightforward and good bans. Very meta bans that work against any hunter basically. The survivors opted to ban Dream Witch and Clerk here. Clerk, you ask? Well, DOU5 is a very good Clerk player actually. He's one of the best Clerk players on the server, and it's actually very valid of them to ban him here. Now, what is Dunction doing? He's banning every harasser in existence basically. Now, with the survivors not picking up anything else. Oh my god. The survivors opting to ban Ento here. Opting to pick Ento here. And Dongshuan picks his Geisha. If you didn't know, Geisha is one of Dongshuan's signature hunters. He played her in IVL even before she got her buff. That was very nice. But now that she's meta, he plays her even more, and he's one of the deadliest and best Geisha players on this server. Overall in the world, I would be like that. Okay, so since everyone wants to be in the video, apparently I'm just gonna do some shoutouts. Shout out to Tay, my favorite child. But now, please don't ping me anymore, guys. I don't want to do this anymore. Alright, we're going into the match. Oh my god, Costo! Stop banting me! I'm gonna cry. We're going into the match here with two tide turners on the mercenary and the acrobat. Dongshuan going with the detention trump card build, probably bringing Blink here to secure at least a 3-person elimination, and detention of course since it's a geisha, it's a 1-hit hunter. We're loading into the game here. We have a shack spawn from Dongshuan immediately running towards the logs, which has the priestess at it. The priestess immediately rotating away, knowing that Dongshuan spawned around here. Dongshuan with the red light trick, tricking the priestess into dropping the pallet on herself, giving Dongshuan a free hit here. Now 487 is in a real dilemma since he's a priestess who votes very slowly and drops pallets slowly too, which is very bad against Geisha. We have the Ento support coming in here. But the Ento messing up her bees, and Dongshuan gets the hit on that priestess. Very fast down from Dongshuan here. Very, very bad on the survivor part here. Having the priestess get tricked by that red light and then dying on the middle cipher as well, which is very bad. You will never want to die on middle. If you die on the middle cipher, you give the hunter a lot of map pressure. Especially since most maps have a cipher at middle as well. Now we immediately see the mercenary going for a rescue here. Dongshuan breaking the portal, and instead messes up the dash here. Actually, no, didn't mess up the dash. 487 was just very patient. But since Dongshuan still has his blink here, he gets the down on the priestess. That is why blink geisha can be valuable. Even if you mess up a dash, you still have your blink. So that's just very forgivable for this geisha right now. And since he has trump card, the teleport endgame, teleport geisha is extremely fast. Her teleport is extremely fast. And that is why detention trump card with Blink is very good on Geisha here. Very good. Now 487 gets chaired at the worst chair in the map. That chair is bad, especially for Priestess, because you cannot portal through there. You cannot global through there. A portal, not global. You cannot portal through there. And that is why the only way 487 can run here is this place. And since it's a Geisha, she immediately catches up and gets that easy kill on him. That is why this chair is really bad and usually people don't save from it if it's the last chair, because there is no way you can rebound. There is no way. Unless you are a survivor that still has items that help them immediately after the chair. But since it's a priestess and there is nowhere she can portal here, there is nothing she can do. That is why this rescue was not that great. This rescue was not helpful for the team at all. Now the Merc's injured as well. We see some great rotating from the Ento here, from Juan. Confusing the X a little. Not knowing exactly where he has to go here. Finding Lion once again. I feel like this has been a reoccurring theme here. Dongshuencha is chasing Lion, even if he's a Merc. Gets a very nice dash on Lion here. Very nice dash. Hitting the Merc and then immediately teleporting off onto the entomologist here. Getting a great dash on the Ento as well after killing the bees. Ento can counter Geisha, but Geisha can also counter Ento. It's a two-way street. The bees can slow down the dash, but the dash can also be too fast for the bees, as we see here. One actually put down the bees, but since the dash was too fast, he couldn't really react in time, and he still went down. Unfortunately, the Ento also dies on the mercenary here that was down on the ground, giving Dongxuan an easy double chair. Not very good. That is a very, very grave mistake these survivors are making, because now the acrobat is forced to rescue. Now everyone is injured. There's 3 ciphers. Even though those 3 ciphers all have good progress, there is no way that they can do those ciphers, since they're kiting on one of them basically. Getting the Terror Shock here. Nice cue from the Ento vaulting back here, but Geisha, after her buff, she swings too fast. It's almost impossible to vault back onto a Geisha after she dashes. Now we see Jelly getting teleported on, getting mind gamed at the window. This Geisha just has way too much pressure here. Getting down the Ento at one of the ciphers, and now teleporting onto the acrobat at the other cipher. And since the mercenary just rescued the Ento, Dongxuan knows where he's coming from and can potentially stuff the mercenary. The mercenary has one elbow pad to work with, and he's gonna use it here, so he won't get stuffed, but he will get hit. And this mercenary heals very slow. We all know that merc healing is incredibly slow. Oh no, Merc takes the hit, but Acrobat cancels the attack recovery with his fireball. If you didn't know, if you hit the fireball at the same time the hunter hits someone, it actually cancels recovery. That is a very big mess up from the survivors here. Now DX dropping the mercenary closer to middle. And since he knows where the Ento is here, very nice butterfly on top of the stairs here. The Ento running into Dong Xuan, sadly, not knowing that he dropped down from below. Nice mind game from Huan here, not getting hit by that butterfly. But gets hit here, of course. Lion will get up here, but he has no more elbow pads, and this geisha is full presence. There is no way this mercenary can kite, so we are looking at another 4-person elimination here. Dong Xuan on butterfly cooldown. Getting the terror shock. And now knowing that the Ento is close to the big boat. The Ento actually not opting to heal up right now. They could have healed up a while ago. Now they're just gonna go up in front of the hunter. We congratulate Dong Xuan on his 4-kill here. Very nice. Good job, Dong Xuan. Very nice geisha he has there. I skipped through some of the bans here, sadly, but I'm gonna talk about them anyway. Alex, yet again, banning the mercenary. No, banning the mechanic. And this time, actually banning the mercenary, allowing the survivors to pick up the forward, actually. I'm hoping to see a forward here. Forward pick, please. There's also an acrobat ban. Alex just inviting the survivors to pick up the forward here. Forward, the best survivor in this game. And there he is. There is the forward. Also picking up the seer, of course. Those two are the most 2 banned survivors in IVL and in tournaments overall, since they're like the best of the best. Seer not that good anymore after the L nerf, but still good enough. So he's still banned. So this forward and seer pick is very good, and now we have a postman ban from Alex here. He really does not want him to decode here. The survivors opting to pick up the Embalmer. Embalmer can be good, especially since they didn't ban Bonbon. They didn't ban Bonbon, instead opting for a Naiad ban here. It's interesting. Alex does play Naiad, but they could have banned the Bonbon here. Though, with the forward and the Embalmer pick, that Bonbon is necessarily countered here. He is countered, kind of. There's still a Seer here to chase. Seer is a very easy chase for Bonbon, of course, as I already mentioned. The survivors also picking up the Coordinator, going anti-Bonbon here. Very anti-Bonbon. Will Alex go for his Bonbon, though? They're inviting him to play Bonbon. But will he pick the bait, though? Alex also banned Priestess as a late support, of course. Priestess is not that great on Nick's side, but she can still provide necessary support. And her global portal is very annoying, of course, always. Alex opting to go for his exploit here. Alex does play exploit, yeah, but his exploit is not that common, and he usually pulls them out when he really doesn't have any other choice. Alex does need a 5 kill here. 4 kill, not 5 kill. Oh my god. He needs 5 points, but he needs a 4-person elimination, basically. And Axboy has the 4 kill potential here. Alex plays about Axboy, so he can probably do it. The thing with Axboy is a hunter that is not necessarily picked to win, but he's usually picked as a sort of trump card at the end, like in later rounds. When the hunter needs a miracle, he picks up Axboy. Axboy can get a 4 kill. We've seen that in the past multiple times. Axboy can get a 4 kill, but Axboy can also get 3 escaped. Axboy can get a tie. Axboy can get 4 killed. Get a 4 kill, can get 4 escaped. He can get anything, basically. That is the risk of taking Axboy. He can definitely get a 4 kill, a 4-person elimination, but he can also get 3 escaped or even 4 escaped. That is why Axboy is a risky pick, but he can definitely do something. He's not a bad hunter at all. That is why I think the Axboy pick here is a good choice from Alex. He did 4 kill with Bonbon on Red Church, but this time we have Lakeside. Lakeside is just a very big map, and it's hard to apply a lot of pressure, unlike Red Church. That is why it's very unlikely for a Bonbon to get a 4 kill on a big map. It's actually most unlikely for a Bonbon to get a 4 kill on a big map. If he doesn't bring teleport on a big map, he has no pressure, and they can just sell and decode the ciphers that are far away from the chair. That is why this big map is good for the survivors here. And they went anti-Bonbon, of course, as well. That is why it's good Alex did not play his Bonbon, instead opting go for the Axboy. Axboy has not that great map pressure either, of course, but he has his very good speed boosts here. Axboy spawning the same spawn as the Dongshuan here, getting a shack spawn, immediately finding the fort at the small boat here. Missing his flame, and then the forward just uses his football. This is why it's not good to chase a forward as an Axboy. If you miss your flame, you get a speed boost, but the forward has a football. There is not much you can do here. Unfortunately, Bobo did not anticipate the confined space here and has to do a football boost earlier than anticipated. And since Alex misses his flame, he gets his speed boost as well and gets him before you can get to the window. Bobo not going inside the pallet here, actually, and giving a hit before his blink actually gets expired, so Alex can save his blink here and chair near a cipher. Alex actually opting to go for up-down blink. He really is risking it all here. Up-down blink is not something you usually see on those big maps. He's putting it all out right now. Really putting it all out. That is very risky indeed. Now Alex going back to the chair. The forward has no more football. There's no way this forward actually rebounds. Very nice. Ow, the coordinator actually shooting here because she has no tight turner, and if she farms the forward off the chair, which ends up happening because of the blink, that's just not gonna give the survivors any value. Now the problem is the forward cannot rebound kite. The rescue was only to get out the blink. That is the only reason I see here to rescue the forward, is so Alex expands his blink. That is the only reason here. Now what the court has to do here, she has to open a chest and get an item, because otherwise she's going to be the next chase, and she has nothing to kite with. She can't kite really. Her faster vaulting is not going to help her against an Axboy here. Now we see Alex catching onto the trail of the court here. Will get a hit as well. Very nice pellet bait from Alex. Gets the hit through the pallet, and his fast pallet break here comes in clutch. Not in clutch, but comes in handy. The coordinator kiting onto the Seer Cypher. The Seer doing a very bad Cypher. This Cypher is usually something that you want your rescuers to do because it's very bad to kite away from. Alex wants an immediate down on the Seer, but he does not really get it, so he hits him. So he doesn't want him to farm an owl here. Will he get the flame? Does not get the flame. Does not get the hit through the pallet either. Very nice patience from the Seer. Alex walking through the pallet and getting the hit. Wow. Alex very bold here. Walks through the pallet point blank. The Seer did not expect that, of course. ZYJ is very... He likes the pallet stun, but he did not expect Alex to just walk through there. Very, very nice play from Alex. Now, the problem is there are 2 ciphers, of course. And the survivors only need 1 escape. So what do you do here? What do you really do here? What do? You don't rescue. But Alex knows. Alex knows that. That is why he's going out. He's going out. And going immediately catching onto the trail of the Embalmer here. Missing the flame. But he's too far away from the chair. The Embalmer is too far away from the chair. He can't make that. And Alex has blink up. His blink is up. There goes the down. This is what Alex wanted. This is what he wanted. He needed to force someone to go for the rescue. And that was the Embalmer. He knew where the Embalmer was because he popped that cipher over there. And that is the reason why Alex will probably win this game, because the court couldn't go for rescue. She was injured. And Alex saw the cipher shaking, so he knew where she was. The only one who could rescue was the Embalmer, of course. Now that the Embalmer popped the cipher over there, he also knew where the Embalmer was at, and he could stuff him, basically. Especially since he had blink up. He didn't even have to hit the flame here. Now what Alex is doing, you might ask, why is he picking up and then putting down here? Why is he doing that? Like, that does not make sense. It does make sense. He wants to put the court closer to middle, closer to the last cipher, so he knows when she gets up. So he will know where she's gonna go, where she's gonna be when she gets up. That is why sometimes hunters, they pick up survivors and then drop them at a convenient place, because the place that the court was at was not convenient for Alex at all. It was at Shack. The last cipher, the one with 75%, is at the shit corner behind logs. It's where Alex is going right now. Yeah, it's where Alex is going right now. That is where the shit cipher is. That is where the last cipher is. And that is why Alex dropped the court over there. Now, unfortunately, the Embalmer got crows. He did not opt to go for... the shore cipher here, which is a little sad. Oops. Now Alex knows where the court got up, and knows that she probably ran back to the cipher over here, which also has progress. That cipher did not have as much progress as the other one. It had no progress at all, actually. That 36% cipher is probably at the shore. Now, the problem here is Alex has blink. Alex has blink, yes. He needs to hit this blink immediately. Or else they're gonna pop the cipher. Do they get the cipher pop? They get the Cypher Pop. Oh my god, they get the Cypher Pop. Now all this court has to do is kite at least 20 seconds. Get attack recovery out too. Yes, yes, yes. Now it's just a race of time. The Embomber will probably be able to get the gate open because it's a big map. And Alex played up, down, X-Boy. Up, down, X-Boy, that is the downside of this right now. That is why I said it's risky. The Embomber will get the gate open. The gate opening speed is ridiculous. Ridiculous. And he's almost there too. It's pretty sad, but that is the danger of playing up, down, blink on a big map like Lakeside. Congratulations to Alex on his 3-person elimination, but we congratulate DOU5 for the overall win in this scenario, as Dongxuan got a 5-point lead, and now that Alex has not been able to get a 4-kill, it is only 3 points, meaning DOU5 will win this overall matchup. Congratulations. I hope you guys liked my commentary. It's a bit scuffed, but it's okay. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you by the next video.